explain yourself. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Ooh, what I do. So my name is Wilrieke Sophia. I'm very Dutch. I'm very queer as well. And I have a cold, hence the sexy voice. Um, I'm teaching workshops about what I call eclectic neo, tantra, about kink, about sexy stuff. Who's play parties. I teach trainers, and at the moment, I'm putting the last hand on my first solo book, which is called Clear Tantra, which is going to be so excited. It's now just went to the proofreaders. It's soon going to the publisher, and I'm
Oh
so
my
nervous.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Um,
Congratulations. You've been wanting to
yeah.
complete this project
Oh,
for a
yeah. That's been
while. I can't
taking
wait.
it's been taking some years because I also have a house here
Yep.
and kids, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, and people in my life. And that's, that's also taking time.
Yeah.
Oh, and next to all these things, I'm also an activist for safer spaces in these scenes that we're working in. And that's called reflexiworkshops.com.
Yeah.
So that's in a tiny little nutshell.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm crazy about ham, so a bit of witch as well. That's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to come back
Yeah.
and hang out with you in Utrecht.
Yeah. And yeah.
Which is right outside of Amsterdam. So if
Yeah.
you, for folks who are interested, get your tickets and
Yeah.
plan on coming and hanging out with us because we've got a whole weekend
Before
of
we go there,
events.
before we go there,
Yeah.
sweetheart, can you tell my people who don't know you and your beautiful glasses here in a nutshell who you are?
Oh my goodness. So ReidAboutSex is my name, REID, and ReidAboutSex.com is my main website, and I'm clearly labeled as a sex geek. And it is my great honor and pleasure to travel around the world. I'm based in the United States. I've been doing sex education for over 20 years. In 2004, I created Cuddle Party here in the United States, and then you created your cuddle events, and that was the most fun when we first met because you and I hadn't known about each other when those workshop experiences came through us, and you and I had, I mean, even down to like certain sentences and kinds of ways of trying to explain things to people, we had a lot in common, and that was so cool and also a little bit creepy, kind of weird, like woo. And so I get to teach adults how to have better sex, how to have healthier relationships. And I'm known for using a lot of humor to try to get us to relax and talk about how traumatic in some instances and how difficult trying to love better and be, more honest and truthful and also learn about ourselves. Like these are struggles, but once we work on these things, they're so valuable and so rewarding, but it doesn't mean it's always easy. So I use a lot of humor to try to make it fun and memorable. I love co-teaching with you and getting to nerd out because, you and I also get to do something I'm very passionate about, which is what I call show and tell sex education, where we actually get to like show people and do live demonstrations about ways of creating pleasure and receiving pleasure. And in a world where it's so weird, unfortunately, to like watch and ask questions about sex and pleasure. So again, like I get so excited teaching with you, and you put up with my bad American jokes, and we seem to help. We seem to help a lot of people. So again, like thanks for supporting me and allowing me to be a part of your community. It's really
thank you. Yeah, and I think there's quite some overlap in how we teach. Like we have different ways of teaching as well, of course, but we really meet in what you tend to call brain sex. Is like nerding out so much on things, and we're both absolute geeks when it comes to the nervous system, to how bodies work, how attachment works, how relationships between people, whether that's sexual or romantic or friendship or blurry or all of it together, how that works. And I also really love that we both try to be very, very inclusive. So to go beyond the heteronormative binary stuff and to make it inclusive for folks of all genders and abilities and neurodivergencies and everything, to just really weave that in.
Well, and also
fun.
that's so important. And also just like, and back to like your book on queer tantra, like I think for some of us, because we're like raised, we're swimming in the water that we don't know is water because it's been all
Uh-huh.
around us all the time. Like culture, uh, and also the fun part about coming in and teaching with you is like you're coming. I'm teaching in a different culture, so I get to nerd out, and you and I get to nerd out on like what are what Americans struggling with the same things that people in Europe are struggling with, and how does that
Mhm.
what's shared? And one of the things
Mhm.
that that is so powerful and not always useful is these ideas of binaries, you know, the masculine,
Mhm.
the feminine, um, in tantra, men, women, how
Mhm.
relationship advice, especially in America, is still stuck in like men are from Mars, women are from Venus type, you know,
Mhm.
rhetoric and just understanding. And when we can deconstruct and untangle that, and it's like pleasure isn't gendered, right?
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Chemistry can be gendered in a like,
Mhm.
oh, I love it when you're in your sacred masculine. But for me, that's gender can become and cultural models. It's just role play. And
It
what,
goes actually very deep. I've been studying this a lot for my book, and a lot of these binaries really come from our colonial patriarchal past, because a binary with opposites, it creates a hierarchy. And so like with dark divine and light divine, or even the
yeah,
word divine and non-divine, or masculine and
yeah,
feminine, we attribute qualities to them, and those qualities are not neutral. There is a
yeah,
hierarchy, and so there is a whole power construct related to them that is not very beneficial. So I always like to say, like, polarity is great, but polarity is nothing but an agreement. And we don't even have to use those words. We can just go back to what are we actually doing. So
yeah,
what's the flavor, or what's the dynamic? So we can work with like leading and following and stuff like that.
yeah. And
But
then, and now, see, now I want to have all the brain sex.
yeah, I
And,
know.
and this is where it becomes so fraught because then I think, oh, I'm not allowed to ask for this
Mm-hmm.
because a real man doesn't ask for
Yeah,
this or
yeah,
whatever. And so
yeah,
now I'm holding myself back because I'm
yeah.
trying to fit in when really ecstatic experiences and pleasure and
Mm-hmm.
connection, like it's all about not holding back. You
Yep.
know, you need to like honor people's boundaries and be able to communicate and check in, but like to really let go, you can't be holding on. And these
Yeah.
roles are so like sneaky. Um,
I guess we can
yeah.
call it decolonizing sexuality. It's like really taking those roles away and see what's then there, what's authentic, what's my desire. And maybe that is a desire that is part of the archetype that people put on us. But then it's
Mm,
autonomy coming from inside, and not because that's the role that's been put on us.
yeah, exactly. And that can be so freeing, but also
Yeah.
feel so complicated and like
Yeah.
overwhelming when you first start dipping your toes into this. So folks,
Oh,
they're like, don't worry, we haven't lost anybody yet in our teaching, and our job is to go slow enough
Yeah.
and to make it fun,
Yeah.
and it's okay to like to feel overwhelmed, and sometimes the nervousness is just mislabeled excitement, I think.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
I got that
Yeah.
from an acting coach a long time ago.
That's beautiful. And I want to say, like, I think a lot of what we are doing with with both our teachings is helping people find their autonomous yes and no, and
Mm,
also to help people find permission in their bodies for feeling pleasure, and also feeling the space to ask for what they want and what they
mm,
don't want. And I think weaving this to the show and tell and then try that we're going to do,
mhm,
we do, even though we can, leave out things like masculine, feminine, etc. We also all have a material body, and a material body that's made out of organs, skin, and genitals. And
mm.
there is so much fun that you can have with genitals. So, Ring, what fun are we going to have
I just have to say, I know you don't think you have an accent, but the way that you say genitals and the way that you giggle
Yeah,
makes me so happy. Um, well, I mean, so just to give people an idea around show and tell and show tell try workshops, these are situations where you're getting to watch and ask questions and kind of feel what it feels like in real time, because some of us are kinesthetic and visual learners. So, like being in the room, watching somebody having pleasure and somebody helping somebody have pleasure, and that exchange, there's a lot of learning and then like de-armoring and unshaming that happens, normalizing. Um, and so one of the things I can talk about quickly here, which if for folks who can't come and make it to Amsterdam, uh, the idea of how you can use weight and pressure and even like just a bath towel to fold it and then help pin your partner down so that they can struggle against it. And some people are like, oh, you mean like restraints, like kink? And I'm like, well, yeah, if that turns you on to be like, help me, I have to struggle, that's erotic and gets you in your brain. But when you start engaging your muscularity, what that does to your nervous system and how that helps you get into your pelvic floor, and your pelvic floor, a bunch of sheets of muscle and sinew and tendons and things, ligaments, and how those are rubbing and bumping up against and tugging on your erectile tissue.
Mhm.
Learning how to play with people's bodies and engage, where you start to see that people are just a really fun system of ropes and pulleys all connected to your nervous system and to your pelvic floor. That alone changes people's sex lives because you start to see and be able to ask for things that you never knew were happening. And having just gotten back from Angsbaka and teaching there, where I got to teach that piece, people were just like, oh my God. And then there were like yoga teachers and acro yoga
Yeah.
folks and dancers who were like, I never, this makes so
Mhm.
much sense.
Mhm.
So getting to show people that, getting people to practice it, because all that can happen completely closed. Um,
Mhm.
and getting to see people have those aha moments, that's like for me, it's show and tell and try. That's the stuff that really gets me so excited to help people, because then once you get it in your body, you can go
Mhm.
show all your friends and all your lovers how to do the thing. And then we're
Mhm.
all spreading it forward.
Beautiful. Yeah, so we'll start with towels as restraints, and then
Mhm.
we'll go through towels underneath the butt.
Mhm.
Because we're also gonna show people on our own bodies and on bodies of team members what you can do with different bodies, and we've got a whole
Yeah.
collection of different bodies of trans folks, of non-binary folks, of cisgendered folks,
Yeah.
um, to show things on that people can just watch and just see what we're doing, and then take that home and practice at home, or practice on like a strap-on or on toys that we bring or on each other, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's again, like it's there's so many things happening that can be so life changing, because like seeing you and I do a technique on a strap on and then somebody trying that and then being like, oh my God, like
Mhm.
we could be using strap ons, like we could be playing with
Mhm.
toys. We have a whole event that is just focused on using, bringing toys and getting to think in how you use toys and how you apply those things. Um, so again, like I'm just so excited to come and help. And then also like making it normalizing that it's okay to go to a workshop like this. Yeah. And not participate. Like you just being there and watching and asking questions is participation enough. Like you don't have to force yourself or push yourself to try anything that you don't feel called to. Or you can try something and then be like, you know what? I time out. I want to change my mind. And then like just being in a workshop environment like this is the win. Because if you think about how many of your friends and how many of your community members would never never go to a workshop like this because they think it's too weird
Oh
or
yeah.
not
Oh yeah.
appropriate.
That's what I tell people all the time as well. Like, you're here, you've done it, you check the box, success is here, you're here, that's it. And indeed, like I always bring stuff so people can just sit in a corner. Like, there's always a designated
Mm-hmm.
space where people can just, we call it the introvert corner, where people can just sit and watch. And yeah, people can take naps. I love it when people take naps in the workshop. You can sit out, you can practice on yourself. You can take everything as a guided meditation and just do it with yourself. Or just indeed watch, take notes, do it at home. Maybe you bring a partner, maybe you bring a whole bunch of partners,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you find someone in the room that you're excited to play with. Yeah, there's many ways of participating in these hands-on workshops. Like, you don't have to get naked, you don't have to touch anyone. You can, but you don't have to. There's no pressure at all.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So just I know we're going to keep talking, but for people who are
no,
like, because a couple of comments are like, "Oh my God, this sounds so interesting. Where can they go right now to
yeah.
find out more about tickets and things like that?"
exploringdeeper.com/events. There you see the
Mm-hmm.
calendar. And if you go to the events in October, 9 to 12,
Mm-hmm.
then you find there's 4 events. On Thursday evening, Reid is going to talk to us about relationships and attachment. Am I correct? It's like a
Yep.
lecture.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be more traditional workshop, that not so much. There won't be any showing and telling, other than telling,
Yeah.
and people connecting and talking about these ideas on how our attachment styles and how we fall in love, and sometimes don't understand how we fall in love, how that is under the surface in our connections and in our dating life, and how to be more aware of it and bring it out of the shadows so that you have more choice and more awareness on how you do dating and mating and relating. And then how you can communicate your needs better around falling in love, or not falling in love if you're trying to keep it casual, but still want to have like deep connection.
I'm excited for this one because this one is a new variation of well, in Europe we would call this more of a lecture, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is a new version for me, and I'm always so excited to be listening to you. Like, I'm so happily give you the microphone and the audience, and I'll be like sitting back and be like, Reid, just talk, make jokes, share your wisdom. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm looking very much forward to this Thursday night. And on Friday, Saturday, we've got this show and tell, then try that we just talked about
Mm-hmm.
with the restrained play. I forgot, a pressure play, I think you call it.
Yep.
No?
Yep.
And then and with all of the genital stuff, and we'll say genitals a few more times just for your pleasure. And then on the Friday night, which is the night in between the 2 days of that event, we've got a
Mm-hmm.
separate event, which is also more lecture style. And that's all about sex toys and things that people might not have done with their sex toys yet, or
Mm-hmm.
things we may have not explored yet. Can you say a few more things about that one?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say, for people watching the video, or watching this recording, like, leave questions,
Yes.
or aha moments that you've had in your life around playing with toys. Because this class, uh, I've taught similar classes, but like years ago, and I'm always including sex toys, but like, what was so fun about you and I brainstorming what to teach, like, to nerd out specifically on like different kinds of toys and how to use them. And then also like off-label uses. So like, I love showing people, like penis owners, like vibrators for traditionally for vulvas, like how to apply a vibrator while you're using your penis, so that you're augmenting the skills. And it's kind of the joke I use is like, when you see a carpenter, using tools, you don't shame them. You don't shame a carpenter for using a hammer or a saw. Like, you're like, that's a smart carpenter. They're using the right tool for the job. But if you grew up no one ever teaching you the tools of the trade, there's so many things that you can do to augment other people's pleasure and also help them feel unashamed about using toys, because you feel comfortable using toys. And then what ends up happening is everyone has a better time, usually. And then everybody thinks you're amazing because you know you're
Yeah.
the carpenter who built this lovely castle of pleasure for them. You're the one who's using pressure, using a bath towel, using a vibrator, using this, using that. I know you know you've got a lot of experience around kink and floggers and rope and all these things. So we'll include all these things to
Oh yeah.
help people wrap their heads around how to play. And then it's
Yeah.
like the world turns into like this, everything's a toy
Yeah.
that's available to uplift the experience. And that just makes life more fun, I
Real
think.
cool. Real cool. One of my party tricks, people who go to my play parties know, these pulled pork claws.
Yes.
Check them out on the internet because they're really cheap and they're amazing for sensory play. Amazing. And they look really cool.
And that's the other thing is like helping people understand like, oh, what's sensory play? What do you mean by that? And then for them to be
Yeah.
like, oh, wait a minute, my body likes a thing I didn't know it liked because I didn't know to look in that direction. And
Yeah.
so then all of a sudden, ta-da, you
Yeah.
know a new thing about yourself.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on our last day together, we have a play party. It's fortunately for us, but unfortunately, it's fully sold out. But maybe some people
Yeah.
maybe some tickets will become available later. We're gonna do a play party with a rough sex for nice folks in the afternoon.
Where, how do explain to people, like, because you said sold out, and then some people be like,
Yeah,
oh, well, then I can't even
yeah,
try. How do people get on
yeah,
wait lists and
right.
things like that? Because
Yeah,
I'm really
I
smart with how you had that.
yeah no,
Right.
yeah, that's good because otherwise I might get tons of emails about waitlist, and I don't do a waitlist
Mm-hmm.
because people, I'm just one person, and that's too
Yeah.
much work. The amount of events that I do. So go to exploringdeeper.com/signal, and then you will
Mm-hmm.
find Signal group that's all about tickets where you can sell and buy tickets. Please do read the agreements first before joining the group because there are
Mm-hmm.
some agreements around joining for group safety. But
Yeah.
exploringdeeper.com/signal, and then you'll find the information on that. And exploringdeeper.com/events, then you will find the events that we're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And the signal, your way of doing that, I was like, oh, that's so smart. I have to set that up for my stuff, but I'll do that another day. I'll let you do it right now
Yeah.
because I'm coming to your hometown.
Right.
Where can people find out more about you? Obviously, exploringdeeper.com. Any
Yep.
places? We've got Instagram here. You're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Any other
Everywhere
places?
not well, no, that's the I most of the years I don't use Facebook and Instagram that much anymore, but if you go to that Signal page, you will also find that there is a Signal channel that is news from Wilrieke, which is kind of like an irregular newsletter with some voice notes and photos. And
Mhm.
every now and then I'll just write some thoughts because, social media just gives less and less exposure. So if you want to hear from Marie every now and then, you can go there. Wilrieke Sophia is the name that I use on social media. And also, if you're curious about that project I mentioned in the beginning about discernment, about safety and workshops, then go to
Mhm.
redflagsinworkshops.com. There's a lot of free brochures and materials there that you can use for your benefit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And can we pre-order the book yet?
Not yet. Not as far as I know, it's gonna. My publisher is American, so it may come out in America first. That's what I'm expecting, and I think it's my activist loves that I'm going to publish a book about queer stuff in America first in this time. But if you go to my website, you can also sign up for a newsletter, which will give you every month a list of my events in your inbox. And I also mentioned the book there, but also in that Signal channel that I already mentioned, I will give updates about the book now and then as well. Yeah, not that much, but every now and then, I'm just once a week, once every 2 weeks, I put a teach in there.
Mm.
Yeah, and
I can't wait to see
yeah,
you again and get to nerd out.
yeah.
Thanks for jumping on live.
Of course.
And any final things to share with people?
I am so looking forward to hanging out together again. And there is something about us teaching together that I think we bring something together, which is a lot of that humor, but it comes with a lot of awareness around ethics and safety in workshops, as well as science behind things, with no fear of the more spiritual side of things as well, woven in. And that works really well. And what I hear from people, what my team is always like, yes, bring Reid back. And what I hear from participants is that they just really enjoy the synergy between us. So I'm so excited to bring that to my community again, and to just also hang out with you as friend. So just really happy that we have the privilege of being able to bring this to people, to bring you here, to teach together, and that feels so yeah.
Thanks
I'm just
again.
really looking forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully everyone can sense our excitement.
Yeah.
And please share this video with your friends. You can
Yeah.
go to exploringdeeper.com/events. You can go /signal to stay in touch with Wilrieke. And then for me, it's ReidAboutSex.com /calendar if you want to get to these events through me. And
Yep.
just follow me. It's ReidAboutSex, ReID about sex on social media, pretty much everywhere. And I'll pop up in your feeds, and leave a comment and say hi, and
Yeah.
leave your questions, and please share this with your friends and tell them to come hang out with us, because it's the more the merrier. Wilrieke,
Oh, yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Reid.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. All right. Bye. Share this video with a friend. Bye.